Good morning. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from 3T Impes Trade Academy. We continue our conversation on starting and managing export business. And today we are looking at, we're continuing the conversation on the MSME business principles. The MSME business principles. I'm trying to get I think it's part 92. Yeah, part 92. MSME business principle. The reason why I decided to spend some time focusing on MSME business principle, or export business principle if you call it, is because of the fact that a lot of people have tried to go into export and have not been able to make headway, and they've complained about a lot of issues and challenges that they face. And I realized that the challenges they face is actually as a result of some fundamental principles that drive business that they've actually overlooked or pushed aside. And these have been a major challenge for the growth and success and aspirations that they have in that business. Yesterday night, it wasn't evening because I did it very late, I ended up with the law of opportunity. This morning I'll be talking about the law of soul prosperity, the law of use, and the law of stability in crisis. The law of soul prosperity, the law of use, and the law of stability in crisis. The law of soul prosperity says that you are blessed to the degree of your soul prosperity. To grow the business, whoever is driving the business must have grown in his mind. You know, if you want to grow the business to begin to do, maybe you're already doing some few thousands or hundreds of thousands or few millions, and you want to be doing tens of millions in terms of turnover, in terms of growth of the business, you need to first have that in your mind. I mean, you need to have it in your mind. You need to have seen it. You need to have become it in your mind, such that what you are trying to do is already a vision that has been set. It's already a dream you have had. It's already a picture you have seen. And it has become flesh in you, as in become part and parcel of you. If you have not grown in your mind to see it ahead of you, it becomes very difficult for it to be manifested in your life. So the growth of the business will be limited. The growth of the business will be restricted if there is no growth internally. If there is no growth internally. And this is so critical and so important, because people are unable to grow the business because internally they do not have growth. I'm trying to find a way to explain this. Everything you see is created twice. First in your mind before it comes into reality. First in your mind before it comes into reality. So you have seen it, you have become it. You have become it. It's already part of you. You're already experiencing it. So in your mind, it's a reality. If that growth is not in your mind, if you don't see it in your mind, it will never be seen in reality. The critical question for you is this: what do you see in your mind regarding that business? Is there any ideal picture you are seeing in the future? Or you are probably not even seeing anything at all. Are you seeing a great picture of that future of that business in your mind? Or there is no picture being painted on the canvas of your heart? If there is no picture being painted on the canvas of your heart, that means you are not seeing anything. If you are not seeing anything, you should not be surprised that the business is not growing. This is why writing a vision down, not just like a religious duty, not just like a corporate duty, but like a picture you are seeing. You know, someone said vision is who you are becoming by virtue of what you are seeing. Vision is who you are, rather, by virtue of what you are seeing. Have you, there are some pictures you will not be able to phantom in your mind. If you can't phantom the picture in your mind, it will never happen in reality. So are you able to phantom the picture of the reality of that business in your mind? Now, as insignificant as these soft issues are, I can assure you is the bane of some people's business progress. So let's bring it into export. What picture of export are you seeing? Picture of a commodity you do 2 or 3 months a year? Or picture of a business you can do year round? Picture of commodity that you do 2-3 times a year? Can you see the mindset now? 2-3 times a year. 2-3 months a year. Picture of commodity. Or picture of a finished product that you can see on Walmart. That you can see on Tesco. That you can see on ShopRite. That you can see in Tilbury. That you can see in different big stores around the world. Is that the picture you are seeing? Have you grown in your mind to have a mental picture of your product in the export market? Or you are just looking at doing some few shipment and said you are now an exporter? Because some people claim to be exporter, but indeed they are not exporter because they ship 2 or 3 times a year. You can't say this is the product they have. Today they do sesame seed. Tomorrow they do agric. Do cassava. That's what. There is no product that is branded for them. There is no picture, mental picture of the desired future in that business. Beyond what was written down. Beyond what was written down. What are you seeing? What are you becoming? Look, as simple as this may sound, as ordinary as this may sound, this might be the gap between you and the success of your business. You prosper. The work of your hands prosper. The business you do prosper to the degree of your soul prosperity. And by soul prosperity, I mean the vision you are seeing, the picture you are seeing, what has become flesh, that is your reality in your mind. You know the beauty of our mind is that, of the brain is that, if I imagine something, the brain does not know if it exists. The brain already see it happen. So in the brain is seeing it like this has happened. So, for example, if I just say, you have not seen the snake, your leg is down, and I say, snake. You jump up and raise your leg up. We have not seen it. But the mind has photographed and pictured it. And the mind believed it, even though it's a lie. The mind believed it. And then you act in that direction. A sign of action is clarity. A sign of clarity is action. A sign of clarity in life is action. A sign of clarity is action. Before clarity comes understanding. The more you understand a concept, the more you are clear about it. The more you are clear about it, the more action you take. This also happens to individuals who are working, who believe strongly this is a business they want to do. They're supposed to have started, but for one reason or the other, they've not started. This is exactly the problem they have. Exactly the problem they have. They are not clear yet. They can give you every form of excuses, but just know that these people are not clear yet on the concept they want to work with or they want to go with. They're not clear. If you are clear, action is a sign of clarity. Action is a sign of clarity. Lack of action is a sign of lack of clarity. You might have the knowledge, but there is no understanding. If there is no understanding, there is no clarity. If there is no clarity, there is no action. If there is no action, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. But when you are taking action, because there's something you are seeing, so the vision has become flesh in you. So in your reality, this is the picture you are seeing. In your reality, this is the picture you are seeing. It doesn't matter what people are saying. It doesn't matter what people are doing. It doesn't matter what they feel. But what is important to you right now is the picture you are seeing. And the picture you are seeing is as a result of the soul prosperity. Of the soul prosperity. You are blessed to the degree of your soul prosperity. So great wealth in your hands, great business in the hand of a poor soul will not make him rich. Great wealth in the hand of a poor soul will not make him rich. Even if you will the business to his hand, he will take stupid decisions until that business reduce to the level of his mindset, of his soul, of his clarity, of his understanding. This is a major challenge for a lot of businesses and why they have not been able to grow. And it affects export also, which is why I'm taking time to talk about principles. Principles are universal, experience is peculiar. Principles are universal, experience is peculiar. Experience is so peculiar that you cannot transfer it to someone else. Given another circumstances and situation and environment, experience will not work. But if it's principle is like force of gravity. Force of gravity is a principle, it's a law. If I'm in the UK, if I throw a stone up, it will come down. If I go to China, if I throw a stone up, it will come down. If I go to Thailand, if I throw a stone up, it will come down. If I go to Ethiopia, if I throw a stone up, it will come down. If I go to Morocco, if I throw a stone up, it will come down. Anywhere I find myself in the world, if you throw up a stone, it will come down. Why? Principle, laws, principle, laws, principle, laws. And that's why we are looking at these laws that I strongly believe should guide your export business, so that at the end of the day, it become a lot easier for that export business to be successful. Our desire as a business is to create content enough for people to consume and be able to take a decision in going into export business. Law of use. Law of use. Whatever you do not employ, you forfeit. Whatever you do not use, you lose. Ambition on use decline. Faith on use decrease. Today on use is lost. You want to grow that business? What effort are you making to ensure there are always transactions? Or you just get tired and you're not interested again? You want to grow the export business? If you do not work on it regularly, you are not going to be able to grow that export business. If you do not work on it regularly, if you don't make regular effort to work on it, you will not be able to grow it. Growth is as a result. Growth is often as a result of daily practice. I talked about that before. That if you do not do the daily practice, it will be very difficult for you to be able to grow. Very difficult for you to be able to grow if there is no daily practice. Daily practice becomes very important. Daily practice becomes very important. And it strengthens the law of use. So like I said, you remember when I talk about the law of seasonal cycle, and I talk about seasonal cycle in relation to the law of first season. Law of seasonal cycle in relation to the law of first season. And I'm talking about the fact that these are principles that guide businesses. If you are coming into business and you are doing export business in particular, these are principles that will guide the success, the progress, the extent to which that business will be able to go. The law of use. So if you begin to do something every day about that business, writing, thinking, meditating, asking questions, researching, you'll be making progress. The business will be growing. You might not see the growth physically, but the business is growing. It's growing already in your mind. Remember, what you see on the outside is a function of what is in your mind. Whatever you see on the outside is a function of what is in your mind, because everything is created twice. The daily practice of looking for transactions, of marketing, of sales, of promotion, of developing the plan, of writing, of researching, of doing proposal are critical. So if you're an exporter, for example, how many sites have you, intending exporter, how many sites have you subscribed to as an exporter to look for buyers? How many people do you know abroad that knows what you want to sell? You know people abroad. How many of us know that you have this product to sell? So that the day someone mentions it to them, say, I have a guy in Nigeria that is exporting this item. Oh. How many of them know that you have that product to sell? The people around you, how many of them know? The people abroad, I mean, your friends, how many of them know? What effort are you making for promotion? What effort are you making? How many websites are you subscribed? How many websites are you a member? Trade portal, are you a member? How many trade shows have you attended, both locally and internationally? How many mails do you send out every day to prospective and intending buyers? How many chamber of commerce, bilateral chamber of commerce have you joined? There are steps you take daily in line with the law of daily practice and in synchrony with the law of use. If you don't use it, you will lose it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. What you don't employ, when you don't employ, you forfeit. What you don't use, you lose. Ambition on use is start declining. Faith on use start decreasing. And today that is on use is lost. And today that is unused is lost. And today that is unused is lost. Every effort you put in is going to wait for you as a result opportunity in future. Make regular, conscious, daily effort to grow the business. Make together the law of daily practice together with the law of use in order to have amazing result in that business. Make together the law of daily practice and the law of use to get amazing result in that business. Law of daily practice, law of use. Law of daily practice, law of use. These are laws that can help you to be able to grow the business and increase it to an enviable height. The third law I'll be looking at today is the law of stability in crisis. The law of stability in crisis. The law of stability in crisis. To remain stable in crisis, you need a pillar of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To remain stable in crisis, you need the pillar of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To remain stable in crisis, and I assure you, you will face challenges. You will face challenges. But how much you are going to be able to overcome those challenges is going to depend largely. It's going to depend extensively. It's going to depend reasonably on knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You cannot apply knowledge in wisdom if you do not understand the knowledge. The goal of knowledge is transformation. But the transformation only happens to you when you understand the knowledge. The transformation is only seen when you understand the knowledge. The question is this. You have knowledge, right? No doubt about it. You have knowledge. Very good. But how much transformation have you seen in your life? What are the changes in that business? Knowledge you have is useless if it's not bringing transformation. The knowledge you have is useless if it's not bringing transformation. It will only bring transformation when you understand it well enough. And I'm saying, how much do you understand about that business? You have the knowledge of the business, right? If you have not taken steps about what you know, you don't understand it. If you have been not able to take steps about what you know in export, you do not understand export. When you understand, you are so clear of your outcome. You are so clear of your output. You are so clear. The challenge for many is clarity, clarity, clarity. Taking time to think about the knowledge, meditating on the knowledge, ruminating on the knowledge, give you understanding. When you have understanding, clarity setting, when you are clear, you will take action. You will take action. So if there is an area of the business that is dark, get the light first from that place. After you have acquired that knowledge, take time to think through on that knowledge to have a good understanding of the knowledge. If you are not taking step on any knowledge you have acquired, it's because there is no clarity. There is no understanding. When there are challenges, what makes you to be able to weather the storm is understanding. Knowledge and understanding brings stability. Knowledge and understanding brings stability. Even when there is a challenge in the business, knowledge and understanding brings stability. You won't be perturbed or worried or disturbed. You will be clear as to next line of action, next line of move, next. You know exactly what next to do. Why? Because of clarity, clarity, clarity. I don't know how to emphasize this. This is the challenges that a lot of businesses face in Nigeria. A lot of businesses face these challenges because we've not learned to live based on principles. We've just learned to, you just hear something and move and move and move. We are not living, we are not driving what we are driving based on principles. If you see a machine, a car, a phone, a gadget, that gadget is running on some principles. And those principles have been put together as system that make that thing to function. Those have been put together as system that make that thing to function. Principles are so critical in our life. But you know what I discovered? Many do not live based on principles. Many just live life as it comes. Many just live life. That is existing. That is not living. That is existing. That is not living. If you just live life as it comes, you are not living intentionally. And we take the same mindset into business and into exportation. There will be challenges. So, for example, if there's a challenge in a country and I'm supposed to ship to that country, I have knowledge. If I've acquired knowledge about risk management, that's the knowledge about risk management in export, then My understanding will make me to ask the right question, make the right inquiry, and put the right mitigants in place. I might know about risk management, but now I'm faced with risk in export. I don't know what to do, but I know about risk management. Okay, I know I can use LC, I can use guarantee, I can use, I just know about it in my mind. But because there is no clarity, I don't know how to put those into practice. Application of knowledge is wisdom, but you are not wise when you don't have understanding and clarity to execute the knowledge you have acquired. If you are going to be stable in crisis, if you are going to weather the storm of crisis, if you are going to overcome the challenge of crisis, you know what? Wisdom and knowledge bring stability. 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 How stable are you? When the table is shaking, the ground is shaking, the challenge is shaking, how do you see it? What is your perspective of that challenge? Do you see that, okay, it has finished? No other thing I can do again. There's no, in fact, I am finished. Or you are seeing other dimension. And when you face those challenges, the way you interpret it also is important. If you interpret it as a way to learn and get better, that would be great. If you can interpret it as someone chasing you from the village, that would be unfortunate. We try, when there is a challenge, instead of asking the question, what? We ask the question, who in Africa? Ask the question, what is causing it? How can I fix it? Some will say, who is doing me? Who is causing it? Who is this? And the who make you to look away from the cause and negating, relegation to the background, the law of cause and effect, and focusing on where the problem is not coming from. Focusing on where the problem is not coming from. Thank you very much for listening again this morning. My name is Dele Ayimibo, and this is Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3T Impest Trade Academy. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the evening as we continue our conversation on starting and managing export business. And I'll be looking at part 90, maybe 93. Maybe 93. Part 93, right? We'll get to 100 next week. Thank you very much. See you in the evening and bye for now.